it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful empowered harmonizers. And we're zooming in and focusing in today on a great viewer question. And that is from a viewer who asked, why is the narcissist or the covert narcissist so controlling? Why are these individuals with personality disorders, why are they so controlling? What is it about this situation that has got me in this bind, in this trap, in this relationship with them? So we're going to zoom in and focus in on that, and I think you'll find it very illuminating. But before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to those of you who have recently donated to the channel. Thank you so much for your contributions. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to discuss these topics, such as with the covert narcissist, the malignant narcissist, and the psychopath, and their impact on others in terms of how it incorporates and integrates with your own emotionality, your own purpose, your own physiology, and your own neurophysiology, and how to really break free and understand what's what you can change, what you can't change, and then move through successfully so you're making the right decisions, you're making the right choices. But oftentimes there's a lot of learning and very elusive learning. In other words, it takes a while. It's not just like making a batch of cookies. There's a lot of intangible information that you need to understand. And oftentimes it's very difficult to wrap your mind around it and apply it on a day-to-day basis. So thank you so much for your recent donations. And absolutely, if the channel has been a positive influence for you in your life and you would like to give back and participate, by all means, there is a PayPal Donate Now button on the homepage, the About page here at Peace and Harmony, the Peace and Harmony Now channel. So thank you so much. And also, to address this great viewer question, it is to ask, why is this individual so controlling? Why are they trying to control the outcomes? Why are they trying to control and manipulate how you feel? Why are they trying to tell you what's what and try to act like they know what's best for you rather than allowing you to know what is best for you and live that, and be supportive, be nurturing, be positive? Why are they so controlling? And, controlling comes with also under the umbrella of criticism, belittling, trying to give projection or negative feedback to you. This is also a controlling mechanism, and this is all part of judgment. And when you are judging people, criticizing, it is because of fear. F-E-A-R, fear, false evidence appearing real. So the narcissist, the covert narcissist, the psychopath, who are controlling either through information that they try to manipulate you with, i.e. being judgmental, trying to control who you become, who you are, what you dress like, what you eat, in terms of a pull to them. So it's trying to affect how you address yourself in the relationship. So the controlling in that manner, and trying to control how you perceive things, or being very judgmental through criticism, belittling, snide comments, the evil look, the evil eye, and, or the withholding of information so that they keep you in the dark, so that they don't have to kind of go and meet you in the middle, which you are deserving respect of, but to kind of covertly, under the radar, cause you to feel neglected, lost, unattended to, not getting really the validation, the eye contact, the affection, the basic communication that you need, and starving you out emotionally. That's also a covert method of control. So we're kind of trying to, I'm showing you like the big picture. And it is because of their sense of fear and intimidation that they are controlling and judgmental. So it is actually their insecurity, their weakness that appears, or what you might have thought is a strength, or what is on the outside, their put together appearance that they know what is best for you. There might be, a grain of salt in it. They might say, you need to do that, and that does make sense. But overall, the negative, controlling judgment, the harsh statements, the harsh looks, or the harsh withdrawal in those extremes, it is because of fear. They judge out of fear. They judge because they don't know. They don't know how. They don't have the skills or the strength to give you what you need. So it's actually a weakness of theirs, yet it's projected to be a weakness of yours. So people go through life suffering, feeling that they're not good enough. They can't think for themselves. They can't satisfy their needs. They don't know. They go, feeling in the fog. They don't know something is wrong in the relationship. Perhaps when they're younger, or they're, in their elementary or teenage or, college years, or even young professional life, and then entering into their, marriages, or, kind of feeling isolated and not knowing why, or feeling lost, or the anxieties as a result, in a tie back to these negatively controlling and judgmental persons who they've encountered in a formidable place in their life. So it is to understand the why, the cause that has created this effect in your life, which I feel is so very potent and very powerful. And when you really understand it, it'll be very liberating. So those people who want to control and manage and, be one over you and be heavy-handed and, trying to insinuate or just tell you straight out flat to your face, you don't know, you're miserable, you're terrible, you're unbelievable, all the negative statements that they're trying to knock you down with, and then, your head is left spinning, and, you're just like looking at them dazed after being slapped emotionally, and, you're just still trying to like get eye contact, but there is no connection. It is because of the separation that they feel from you. I'll repeat that again. It is because of the separation that they feel from you. So if someone does not have empathy, there is going to be a separation, i.e., if someone does not possess the personality trait or quality or characteristic of empathy. In other words, I understand where you're coming from. I understand that you need someone to listen to. I understand that you need someone to talk to. I understand that you need this, sit down. I understand you need this eye contact. I understand you need someone to show you how to make your bed. That is empathy. Or I understand that you had a tough day at school. Let me listen to you. Or I understand your needs as a child. You can't do all this on your own yet. That's why I am here, because I am more mature. I am your, super ego. I'm here because I have had more time and experience. And it doesn't mean that you don't know what's going on, but I am here to at least enhance and help to direct and guide you. And so it is those individuals who lack empathy, or, who are on the covert narcissist, who don't really kind of care, and they'll just kind of withdraw and let things run amok, and they'll just be like, well, not my job. You got to find your own way in this world. I'm your parent, but, if you're not 12 and you haven't figured it out, tough for you. I'm just going to take care of me. I mean, they're very self-interested, very self-directed, and they don't understand that it's in an extreme form, that they're not able to, get over themselves and their needs for a moment in order to help others where they should be, where they should be assisting, where they should be present, where they should be able to listen and not be, negatively controlling or absent. And then likewise in the psychopath, an individual who is lacking in conscience and really altogether lacking in the emotional richness of being able to bond and connect and have a relationship with others, and being able to feel things like love, freedom, feeling things like beauty, like sentiments, like nostalgia. They don't have those cylinders. They're not firing on those cylinders in the engine. They don't have those pistons in their psychology. So they're completely separate from those people. So it is the separation that is causing that control, because they don't feel connected. That's a very scary thing if this person happens to be a parent. If you have a psychopath as a parent and you're feeling like there's, 7 Gulf Oceans, between you, It's more than just, a generation gap. It's more than just a communication gap. It's more than just, they're the disciplinarian, you're the child. There's a huge, vast distance between the two of you because they're not picking up on you emotionally. There is no emotional connection. It's just gone. And so a child is going to be like, OMG, and oftentimes they're going to get controlled, abused, and they're not going to feel related to, and they're going to feel lost, dehumanized, depersonalized, the brainwashing, the self-doubt. All that is going to run and drive the life. It's going to be what's driving the car. And, until people really get to understand the why, the cause has created the effect of why these people are controlling and judgment is because of these situations, because of the lack of empathy, because of their lack of emotional richness, because they feel threatened by others. And they're not going to allow you to see or experience this beauty or goodness or emotional quality within you. They're not going to allow that to live. That's the way I kind of think of it, is they're not going to allow it to live. It's there. The seed of your beauty, your physical beauty, your emotional beauty, your personality, the beauty of your personality, i.e. what makes you you, that is going to be asphyxiated, or as I call it, or I think of it as asphyxiated, so it's going to be deoxygenized. It's not going to be allowed to breathe. It's not going to be allowed to grow. It's like going to be shut out in the basement. It's like the Cinderella effect, where you are put into the emotional basement. You're not allowed to see the light of day, hear the talk and communication of people. You're going to feel like everybody else is talking up there, and you're kind of like down there in the basement of life, or the basement of your emotional growth. And you're not allowed to participate. You're treated like the shunned. And to be scapegoated is to feel shunned. It's to feel ostracized. It's to feel isolated. So this becomes a natural state because that's then all you know, or all you're treated as. You become, the people who you surround yourself with. So if you're treated like less than, you're going to become less than or feel less than, and then your behaviors are going to reflect that emotionality. It's going to reflect that core. So really, and if this has also been, a spouse, which is going to be your kin, then also this is going to become a situation and a problem as well. So, once again, that inherent seed of what makes you you, your personality, your positivity, your sense of humor, your way of doing things, what makes you unique from all other people on the planet. There's universal, we're all people, 10 toes, 10 hands, you share things in common with other people. You share things in common with people in your society, but you also have things which are inherently completely unique to you. And so really, I feel it's that they're not even allowing anything really on those levels to be reflected back to you. So that which makes you strong, that which makes you you, is not allowed. So the seeds of that, the core of that, the cause of that is not allowed to be. So it gets, it is, yes, and people ask also, is it a core of jealousy? Yes, so if they are threatened by you because they don't have the empathy, so you present a threat, you present a fear to them, so they resort to the defense mechanisms of trying to control and judge. So people are going to control and judge what they are threatened by, or what they are fearful of, what they don't understand, what they feel is going to make them either look bad or feel bad. And so they try to act superior to that. And then, there's a huge disconnect. So there's this big separation. And, it is very difficult then to try to adjust to a profoundly sick relationship. It's very difficult then to adjust to a profoundly sick society, which, tells you or tries to control or judge you. So we look at it from the microcosm, which means, very locally to you, those relationships. And then if you look at society at large, in other words, the advertising, trying to tell you what's beautiful, what's what, who's who, for anything from the skin color, the hair color, the length of your nails. I mean, it's like, what is up with that? It is all about judgment. You're not pretty enough. You're not, this enough. Yes, part of life is about growing and improving yourself, and advertisement can sometimes be that. You need some entertainment, go to the movies, click on this. This might be a good thing for you, click on this. So yes, there is that self-improvement, but when it becomes with a judgment of, I'm not good enough, so I have to have these shoes, like, I am not this enough, so I have to have this car, or etc. If it's coming from that lower emotional state where you feel like you're not good enough, and so you're getting caught in the trap, and then you're disavowing yourself, you're going contradictory to your own authentic self. So again, it's the external locus of control. So if this has been a pattern for you, and you have become a people pleaser, or as I say, you're having to live your life from the outside in, you're used to people pleasing or trying to pacify that judgment. I have to get the grade for the grade versus like, I'm genuinely interested in the subject and I'm going to see how this applies to me. It's two different approaches. And so if you are on that people pleaser, I'm becoming this to appease somebody else versus what's innately within me, it's because I'm not embracing that which is innately within me, and that is okay. So it's then to say, okay, now I am catering to trying to pacify others, and I'm following that as a blueprint for my life, which is not a good choice anymore. So now that I know better, I'm not going to behave in that way. I'm not going to feel less than or feel anxious because of that judgment or because the ripples of the negative statements that have been ingrained in me. So if you've heard it so many times, it's going to be kind of like, I think of it like a ripple effect. It's like when you throw a stone into a calm water, and it's just, 100 yards out, eventually that ripple is going to wake out and it's going to hit the shore. So I think of it like that. Even though it happened a while ago, even though it's out there, you're still seeing and feeling the effects, and you see the effect on your emotions, which is kind of like the water within. You still feel it rippling. You still feel the neurology and the physiology in your body, in your mind, and in your thoughts still kind of rippling, from that. You're still hearing it, you're still feeling it. Your personality has then become organized around this. So it's to remove the cause. It's to say, okay, I'm no longer in that pond. I'm no longer fishing for how I think and how I feel about myself and how I now interact with the world at large based on the ripples from that pond. I'm fishing from a whole nother pond, which is very calm, very serene, very mirror-like and very glass-like, and the sun just bounces off, and it's so placid and so serene. It's so calming for me to be around. That's the pool, that's the pond, that's the lake that I'm fishing from, that I'm pulling my feelings from now. There are no stones thrown in there. That is what I'm living around. That's the water's edge that I'm walking up to in my life. That is where I go to soak it in. That's where I go and I make my decisions and my choices and my behaviors are around that cool, calm pool now. That other pool has been filled in with ground and cement, and it's just not even a pool. It's not even a reservoir for me to go to anymore. It's been dried up. It's like the desert sand. It's no longer there for me to go to. Emotionally anymore. It's been dried up. It's been filled over with, volcanic ash or dust storms. It ain't there anymore. So it's to say now I am now in a resource of feeling my emotions and my choices, and my feeling of self-validation is coming from that cool, calm, peaceful, serene place. And it is to know that it's okay for me to feel this peace and this unconditional safety. So it's okay to be there in life. And this is really kind of an analogy, but it's an image and a feeling, because the subconscious really needs those images to feel and decide and choose from. The subconscious mind will give commands. It can give you, you can tell it to feel awful, scared, less than, or you can tell it to feel calm, serene, at peace, and positive, and, and bliss. However you want to describe that, unconditional love, which means to be acceptance and to really want the best for and to grow, and affection, and all that is, intermixed with the word love. So once you get into that state, then you can see that the talons or the judgment and the control, that ripple effect ain't going there. It's not able to. There's scores and miles of dry land that are protecting you from that. So it's to understand that it's important for you to acknowledge and validate and learn this, and also to draw your new identity, i.e. what you identify with in your personality traits and characteristics, by like a very, very small seed, like a mustard seed or a tiny dandelion seed. So it's, even if it's that tiny germination state where you are right now, is to say, aha, that is the seed of how I feel about myself, and that seed is not controlled or judged or manipulated. It is not it's not in toxic soil anymore. It's never seen or known toxic soil. So it's then saying, okay, now the reservoir is in this pure, more unadulterated, heavily fertilized soil, which is nutriented and going to grow by the sense of peace and serenity, and the understanding that I am is that new seed, which is that new life. And it's to say that I am not controlled by the negative and the judgment and the fear. And so it's to part ways with that. It's to say, it's to be separate and distinct from, and now giving yourself the positive experiences and emotions, beginning through that first understanding, and then giving that empathy to yourself and saying, I am, from that cool pond, and then what you feel from that, from that serene, I am serenity, I am peace, I am empowered from this place. So I'm taking it, and then the nutrients, the emotional feedback, and what feeds my soul is from this place, and it is like no other. So it's coming to that, and then realizing that this is a place where you don't need to be judged. You are enough. You are impeccable and magnificent just as you are, with your bare feet and however you're sitting by this cool, calm, very serene lake or pond, or wherever you find yourself. So it's an energetic feeling that is free from and liberated from the judgment, the fear, and or the control, the negative control of the covert narcissist. And it's to say, I am human, and it is okay for me to have these needs, and the need to communicate and to feel together and to feel a sense of belonging, and that this is healthy, it is okay. And that now I'm going to begin right here, and I'm going to develop and satisfy and live fulfillment and integrity, and basically self-actualize from this space. So I'm gonna really kind of go along the rungs in my evolution from this, and I know that better. So in other words, when the dry spell comes in, the criticism that's trying to corrupt my source, trying to corrupt me and my positive feelings and my positive self-regard, I'm not going to allow that to drain me. It's to have the boundaries and the standards to identify it. But that clear vision needs to come from within. So it's a new energy shift. It's a locus of control that's able to see, wow, I was under the control out of the fear of this person, the insecurity, the lack of personality traits with which they did not possess, which had that impact. And so that whole situation is gone. I'm now grown, and now I'm surrounding myself with a fertile life, incorporating the positive visions, which I can then give now once I feel safe and at peace. So really, the core has to come from that, I feel. If you're trying to live your life out of fear and being controlled by another, it is to be the people pleaser, and it's to, it's to go against yourself. So it's to say, I am now embracing the personality characteristics which are within me, and my needs which are okay, and I'm going to give that to myself. So the need to be introverted, or the need to be extroverted, the need to be inquisitive, or the need to look within, the need to learn things or learn about myself. So I'm now going to honor those innate personality characteristics which are within me, and I'm going to grow to my strengths, versus trying to grow to somebody else's weaknesses, which would, perhaps plagued those other very unhealthy pathological relationships. This is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.